So welcome back to the world of Aces High, VuduVince, and so we're going to go through the second part here, which is Oculus in Aces High, which is why you're here. You're saying, okay, Voodoo, well, convince me. Why in the world should I mess with this stuff? Is it worth my time? Do I really need it? And why? Well, so I've been flying with it for a little while now, and I like it quite a bit, and there's some pros and cons to it. So cons are getting it set up, getting it situated. It's kind of hard to jump in and out of using Oculus. It's not as easy as just sitting down in front of the computer, but I believe that the pros outweigh the cons. And one of the cons I'd say is getting it set up. So you got to come in here, you need to set up all your stuff. You're gonna have to put this headset on. It's kind of difficult to type because you got to look kind of under the goggles to kind of look and see. I can't type, so I have to look and see to hunt and peck for keys. That's a con for me. But bonuses are I can see, and I don't have to hit a hat switch. Now I use a hat switch for some of my views. So as you can see right now, I'm literally sitting in front of my computer and I'm looking around and I'm going, okay, here's my clipboard here, of course. I have my text buffers down here, and I can generally just look around and go, okay, cool. Now, where this can kind of, another con can be, I'm in a hard back chair, so I have hard shoulder armrests here, so really and truly ease is 180 degrees in front. So here's straight in front, left, and right. Okay, so now if I want to see something over my shoulder, I really have to let go of the controls and turn. And if you're not very flexible, or if you're a little older, turning all the way around in your chair in the middle of a dogfight is just not really going to work. So in order to look backwards, you really have to turn and look over your shoulder, which can be kind of painful. And I pulled my neck doing something one day, so I couldn't really look left. So that got a little bit anxious, or a little rough trying to do that. So one of the things I did set up is my hat switch. So I have it set to snap view, and so I can just pull and look backwards. And then once I'm looking backwards, then I can just again rotate 180 degrees and look. Okay, same thing for back left, so I can look, and I can look around an aircraft. So some cool things that I spotted with the Oculus, let's go to the hangar here, is when I go to say look at an aircraft, and I want to look at its skin for the aircraft. So that's not what I wanted. I wanted a hurricane. Where'd the hurricane go? There you are. So now if I wanted to look at, so I can look around the clipboard here. I can go 50% gas, I can pick up whatever I want. But when I go to convergence, I can actually look at the aircraft and go, look, I want to look and see what the skin looks like. So I can come right up here. Grebo's got an amazing skin for default. Let's see what other ones. We've got a finish. Let's see what we've got. North Africa. Belgian. Another standard. There's 30 Squadron. 3 Squadron. Little, that's Foot Junior there. Romanian. Cool. Let's see what we got here. 601. 73. I like that. Looks pretty good there. And I guess that's a naval unit or something. I'm unfamiliar with that. Let's stretch this out a little bit there. 350 and 350. So in order to do that, you have to click and hold. You can see the pipper that's on the screen there. And what you do is it gets kind of crazy when you got them stacked up, so what you have to do is kind of just move your head up and down until you find the blue, and then you just click and grab. It'll take you a little bit to get used to it. And outside of that, it's pretty straightforward. So let's so currently we're in the aircraft, and it's pretty interesting. This is the first time I've flown a Hurricane, I think, since I've been in the game. So what gets kind of interesting is if you are going to line up for a shot, and maybe you're like off over here, but as you're looking at it, you get to see both lenses together, and I have two individual eyes with two individual lenses. So like right now my left eye is lined up with the gun sight, so I can shoot using my left eye, and now both eyes are pretty much looking in the gun sight, and now my right eye is looking down the gun sight. And so when I go to turn, my feet are on the pedals, and what's comfortable is about here. Well, that's really about true, but in order to get here and kind of look real hard, I really do have to crane all the way around, and I still really can't see anything, which is more appropriate. It's a little more immersive. And of course the same goes for the right hand side, and I really have to let go of the controls. Well, I guess I could reach over my left hand and grab the controls, but I'm not that good, and I don't have a standard yoke like you see here. But this is pretty cool getting to see here. Now sometimes what will happen is you're going to be in the cockpit and you're entirely too close. Well, you can't really back up any further, but what you can do is you can hit the F10 key. Let's see what it does for us. Well, it kind of lines us up kind of right eye dominant, which is not really what I wanted. So that's kind of a little bit better. But essentially you can see that we can look all the way around. Let me go ahead and brighten up this gun sight here. So if you hadn't already, you've gotten to see a few of my videos from the Russia scenario as flying Yaks, and some of my other gameplay videos, and you can see there's a whole lot of looking around. A couple of things is the field of view that you get to see is not quite the same as I get to see. Scoot up here a little bit, and then what we'll do here is look at F10 again and kind of, there we go. So what I do is I pulled my head back and hit the F10, and that kind of brought my entire view back just a little bit. And so one of the coolest things about having this set up is that you literally just look and you go, okay, I don't need to use a hat switch or anything. I can track a target. And so for tracking targets from 180 degrees from here through to here, it's amazing. When you start getting stuff that shows up behind you, so when I pull straight back, I have this little bit of deal. I don't have a lot of room to really look behind me, but that's appropriate because the Hurricane didn't have a whole lot of visibility. So something you could do would be to pull way back and maybe hit F10 or something and get it kind of zeroed here. But usually what you'd end up doing would be just pull your hat switch and then look. It's kind of interesting how that's I must have some spikes in my stick here. I've got to run some diagnostics and check that out. But so as you can see, is like if I can look through the gun sight and then come back to where I'm looking, to the gun sight and back to where I'm looking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll over and I'm gonna hit that beach there. So I'm gonna look up, I'm gonna transition where I'm at, I'm gonna look inside and see where my speed's at. I'm gonna transition back outside, and then if I was looking for something hiding out in these woods, I can look forward like I'm driving, just check and look, and check and look, and check and look. And this allows you to track targets through full range of motion here, all the way through. And it's really wild. It's really fun. It's pretty cool, especially when you make those shots across through onto the gun sight. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy the hell out of it. So some cons are that when you're going to like track a target up through the top of the canopy, and you start to rotate around, you run into the physical limitations you would run into the aircraft. You go, okay, look, that's the plate. That's a steel plate right there. I can't get past that. There's a guy behind me. Okay, well, I got to look. Okay, well, I don't have my hands on the controls right now. I'm grabbing my armrest and pulling myself over this way. Well, so if you got a little belly, you know, or you're a little fat, which a lot of us in play are, it may be a little hard to get yourself turned around there. So you're gonna have to get your hat switch set, and then get ready to be physically limited by reality here. So you go, okay, I'm going to look backwards. Well, this is literally what you'd be looking at. So you've got a little bit of view to the left and a little bit of view to the right. Well, vice versa. And that's the deal. Outside of that, it's pretty outstanding. The goggles are very comfortable to wear. I can wear them for hours at a time without any issues. You can adjust them. Very soft foam on the face. I've taken the ear plugs that were the ears that were on mine off and simply use a little plastic screwdriver. You take them off, They connect with, they're not actually wired, they have two connectors that connect to the actual headset itself. You just take a little screwdriver and you take those off. And now I use my regular headset that's over the ears because I got messed up ears. And it goes over my ears, and I use my regular headset for everything else. I definitely got some spikes going on with this stick. But anyway, outside of that, it's pretty entertaining. I can actually check my gauges. I can look and see. Now, the video quality that you get to see is not quite as good as I get to see. But it's still good. And the reason why you're using it is because you want to be able to just go, what was that? I heard something to my left. And look and go, oh, okay. Nothing. I just heard something. Oh, what was that? Nothing. Let's go up here. We're going to get up to the airfield itself. So someone had asked me on a comment. I apologize about remembering the name. I was gonna make a comment about it, and then I ended up not. And they said, "Well, look, give us a scale of 1 to 10. What you think?" And I think that I would give it a 7. It could take a little bit to get it worked out. I had some serious issues getting all my stuff set up initially. The Oculus was working, then it quit working, and I had some hell of a time kind of working it around. Yeah, I definitely got to clean my contacts off on this stick. But so the next thing that I can recommend to you, one of the things that's going to help you, but it's something that I've been doing and it's something that I've seen people complaining about, was not being able to have to reach to do flaps or landing gear or something like that. So I fly with a CH Pro Throttle pedals and a fighter stick. So all my stuff is set up on the actual sticks. So when I want WEP, I just mash my thumb upwards on one of my buttons and I got WEP. Both my guns, I got the first set of guns are set up my trigger, secondary set of guns are set up with a button on the throttle. So yeah, I definitely got some issues with my stick. But anyway, so then if we want to make a landing, my landing gear and flaps are set up to my throttle. My view hat switch is set up to my throttle. Weapon select secondary is set up. All my buttons, to include my clipboard. When I click on one of my buttons, my clipboard comes up. I can do whatever I need to do. And I remember where my stuff is for turning typing, you know, bringing the text buffer and whatnot up. Outside of that, you know, for quarter-on attacks or for anything 180 degrees at the front, it's outstanding. For tracking targets through the roof, it's amazing. So, I mean, you're sitting here and you go, okay, look, I want to track, you know, one of these objects to the top of the canopy. Well, it's relatively simple. We just track it all the way through. And it makes for a pretty cool time, you know, where you can just do whatever it is that you need to do, and you can track around. So, let's really show you what the Oculus can do. We're going to get the KI-43. I'm going to calibrate this joystick, and we're really going to run this thing through space. Go ahead and take off here. So one of the things that's going to be weird and it's going to take a little time to get used to is your own brain. Your brain is going to sit here and tell you you're not turning, but your eyes are going to be sitting here going, look, you're turning. Well, actually, I should say your inner ear is telling you that you're not turning, but your brain is saying that you are. So right now we're in level flight. So if I look, no problem. If I look, no problem. But if I go to look and turn at the same time, or I'm looking this way and then I look quickly from this way, I change directions really quick with how I'm looking around, it's going to mess with you. It's going to be weird. You're going to, and it's made a few people sick, but you'll get used to it. Now, how long it'll take you to get used to it, I do not know, honestly, but you will get used to it. And it's pretty wild when you first transition from one point to another, and it'll take you a little work just to get adjusted to it. But it's a lot of fun once you get it figured out. Just because you can literally just look. You just go, okay, well, I'm going to go around these trees. I'm on a track all the way through them. And that's pretty cool to be able to just adjust and look around and do all that. I've enjoyed the heck out of it so far, and I'm going to continue to enjoy it. And I definitely think that it's worth it. And my 7 out of 10 rating is primarily just setup and use. After that, I mean, it's relatively simple. Once you know exactly what you need to do, which if you hadn't seen it, then you need to check that first video. You need to check that first video and see. Outside of that, I mean, it's... Heard my engine there for a second. That's weird. And so you got to get kind of adjusted to flying different aircraft and stuff. So it gets a little strange. Like it brought me in a little closer, where I guess technically I can do what I need to do. But it's a little weird when you're trying to look out the back. But really and truly, most of your contacts should be in front of you. But it is hard to kind of track all the way through and verify stuff behind you, not in front of you. I mean, because in front of you, just look, and you can track it all the way through from one wing to the other, and then from one wing to the other. And so that's pretty awesome. I definitely enjoy the heck out of it. And one of the other deals is Control F4, not Alt F4, but Control F4, and that recenters you as far as where you're kind of situated at. So there's a lot of potential to it. There's supposed to be some new versions of stuff coming out maybe at the end of this year, beginning of 2019. So if you're kind of on the fence about it, hang out and keep watching these videos and see if you have any questions. Hit me up about them and let me know. And what we can do is definitely give you some information on it and see what we can do. Let's see if we flip this pillar here. Oh, yeah, busted the old prop. Well. Crew chiefs are not going to like me with that. But it is pretty awesome. If you have any other questions, hit me up, let me know. Appreciate you guys staying with it. We're moving slowly up the chain. I'm getting new subscribers every day. I don't expect this channel to go everywhere. With the new rules to YouTube, my channel was demonetized. Not that I was making very much, but it was because I just didn't have enough views. And that's just because Aces High is just... just a smaller game. Nobody really cares about it too terribly much, but you guys do, and I enjoy making these videos for you. So, tell your friends. Let folks know that we're still out here. We're still rocking on. And if you have any questions or if you need any training or anything, hit me up. Let me know. I don't fly as much as I have been in the past, but if I have reasons to come in, I definitely will. Besides just filming. So, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a good evening, and I'll check y'all next time.